That's right. People showed up in force tonight as they filled this gym in Jefferson City to learn about the merger. Emily, the pond is down at the bottom of this hill. Police have blocked it off so we can't get too much closer. Darnell Gray's house is that way, about a half mile. Police told me they had divers in the pond this weekend, but they're draining it because they want to make sure they didn't miss anything. Nash has seen 3 head coaches in her 4 years. The alleged academic fraud occurred, and the investigation started under Coach Aaron Earlywine. It continued under interim coach Gina Fogg, but the consequences were eventually dumped on new head coach Larissa Anderson. All right, my last question is about the weather. I don't know if you remember when I came down to practice a couple days ago, I told you I thought the weather was going to be a little bit cold. We're here now. Is it going to affect your plans at all tonight?
Right, you're spot on.
Emily and Eric, people here are still pretty shook up about yesterday's accident. It happened just behind me on Highway 100. You can still see some caution tape tied between that post and that fence over there, and there's still some glass on the roadway as well.
Good D.
Larry Linthicum has been coaching his daughter Micah her whole life.
I know folks told me that you become a better coach the day you become a parent.
Working on fundamentals just in our little elementary school gym after school.
They've got some funny memories over the years.
I remember one winter specifically, the snow was super deep. We went out there and brought the snow shovel out there, and we worked on post moves for like 30 minutes or something, but it was, yeah, I still remember that because it was so cold.
I don't know whether she'd say that was a positive experience or not, but it's probably memorable because I'm thinking that it was cold.
While he doesn't officially coach her anymore.
No shot. He waved it off. Waved it off.
She's turned into quite the competitor, and this year she's surrounded by playmakers. The Jefferson City Lady Jays have dropped only 1 game in her final year and advanced to the Class 5 Final Four this weekend. While you can always find Larry in the stands at Jefferson City rooting for Micah as a dad, sometimes he's watching her through a very different lens.
Oh, my. You might hurt me. So who likes recess? Me. Everybody likes recess. Well, my name is Larry Linthicum, and I'm here to read to you guys, okay? And I work for the school.
Sometimes it's hard for Micah to remember that her dad is also the superintendent for Jeff City Public Schools.
Like if I see him up on a stage or something and he's got his sports jacket and everything on, it's like, oh, like I kind of forget that he has that kind of position.
Larry doesn't think her friends ever forget, though, because they're always asking about snow days.
That's something that I think her friends think that she's got an in, or might get the early word on that.
Their time together in K-12 education is coming to an end.
I think it'll definitely be bittersweet towards the end, but I think it'll just be so special just because he's been such a big influence just on my life, and not just as much basketball, but if anything more off the court.
But he won't have to go far to watch her play at the next level, as she is following in his footsteps and playing at Mizzou.
It's one of those things that you dream of, and just because the great experiences that I had there, and so I'm just excited for her.
As a superintendent or a Tiger, he's still always there as a dad.
He's always still going to be my dad.
In Jefferson City, Travis Breese, KOMU 8 Sports.
Hello.
Some Missouri small businesses are celebrating the passage of a new law.
Go vote. It's important. Everybody should take part.
Proposition B will raise the state's minimum wage from $7.85 to $8.60 next year, and then all the way up to $12 in 2023.
I'm very excited that Prop B passed. It's going to be interesting. I still see people are like, oh, it's fool's gold. You're wrong. You don't understand. The studies show that people being paid better, everybody will do better.
While some small business owners in Columbia say they are in favor of the new minimum wage raise, groups like Associated Industries of Missouri believe that voters may have not considered some things when they went to the polls.
Or, something has to happen for that business owner to be able to afford the additional wages that they're paying.
Ray McCarty's organization advocates for larger businesses in Jefferson City. He thinks businesses will now be hurt more than employees will be helped.
One is they'll have to either increase prices, if they're able to do so, or they'll have to cut the numbers of hours of minimum wage employees, or potentially the number of minimum wage positions.
McCarty also thinks we might see a decrease in the number of human employees.
And as we raise the cost of labor, those automated solutions become more affordable.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Burton thinks anyone who voted against Prop B is not considering the little guy.
So everybody's like, oh, let the free market just pay people whatever they want. Well, they take it for corporate profits and they don't pay their people better.
Even though she's not 100% sure what the future will bring, she thinks Missourians need to at least give the new law a shot.
I think let's just do it and let's see.
Travis Breese, KOMU 8 News, Columbia. The 2019 softball season is underway for Missouri, but it's not like any in recent memory.
Yeah, it's pretty hard because everything's so unsure, and knowing that this is my last year, and knowing that I could just be done out of nowhere.
The NCAA slapped sanctions on Mizzou in late January after concluding their investigation into an academic fraud case from 2016. Among those penalties is a 2019 postseason ban for the softball team. This has thrust senior Reagan Nash into quite the role in her final season.
I definitely look toward this kind of challenge. My 4 years have had a lot of adversity, and it's just something I've had to push through every year, and this is definitely going to be the hardest test.
Nash has seen 3 head coaches in her 4 years. The alleged academic fraud occurred, and the investigation started under Coach Aaron Earlywine. It continued under interim coach Gina Fogg, but the consequences were eventually dumped on new head coach Larissa Anderson.
At the time, I didn't know. I was informed early on in November when it was going forward with the NCAA, but I don't think it would have made any change in my decision. I completely support everything that our administration is doing moving forward.
Anderson came over from Hofstra University in New York last May, but already knows how much the seniors mean to this team.
We're playing for our seniors, that we want them to go out on a great note, very successful note, regardless of what tournament we're playing in at the end of the year.
On Thursday, the university filed appeal paperwork to start fighting the sanctions. If the appeal takes longer than the season, it's possible that the team will actually face a postseason ban next year. But Nash knows they can't afford to think like that.
Even if the appeal process keeps going and we don't know about the postseason, we just have to keep pushing and act like nothing's happening and keep going on as normal.
And it hasn't made her any less excited about her final season.
I think this team really has the potential to show everyone what's up.
In Columbia, I'm Travis Breese, KOMU 8 Sports.